What's good, listeners? Good morning, and welcome to the Chris College Show, Millennial Talk Show. Good morning, Marissa. How's it going, fam?
Oh my gosh, fabulous. I am loving it. I cannot wait for the weekend to start. Rest
You're
and
always ready for the weekend, though.
Well, I just feels like I'm always on the go, and Sunday's like my only morning off. And so I look forward to my Sundays.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are looking forward, to the weekend. And I don't know about you guys, but like it's kind of random when you wake up and, I don't know about you, Marissa. It's always like an impulse for me to go directly to my iPhone. And I always like to check the social media apps and see what's going on this morning. And you know how like sometimes, Twitter, they might want to recommend to you like, hey, there's a tweet out there that you might want to check out. Well, This one actually came from Elon Musk, and I was quite surprised. This was at 4:50 a.m. this morning. So Elon Musk tweets, "You might respect the penis, but do you honor the ball sack?" I mean, it's pretty funny considering how, like, we're going to kind of talk about it a little bit later in the show.
Balls licked that morning? That's all I want to know. Is it like that? Like instant, like, oh, my balls are getting licked right now. Dear people on Twitter, do you get yours?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're going to be kind of talking about it with our Just Talking guests later on, but, there is a California bill that is being discussed about, how do we regulate minors, 18 years or younger. Should we be worried about people like this guy, Marissa?
I mean, first off, anybody under 18 shouldn't be on social media. So.
No. I mean, that's been a big thing. I mean, people say,
I think you can put what you want within reason. Obviously, nothing like hurting children or animals. But other than that, pretty much, it should be free reign.
Yeah, I think it's let's make Twitter fun again. And I think that's a bit of what Elon Musk is trying to do. He definitely made me laugh this morning. Also, I'm very excited. I know late last night, Metallica dropped their new long-anticipated record, starting off a new era of heavy metal, which is oh, it is super badass, Marissa. The new album is called 72 Seasons, and they will actually be playing 2 nights in Glendale in September, and Metallica won't be playing a single twice during the event. There actually will be a total of more than 30 songs both nights, but they will not repeat the same song. That is pretty freaking cool. And I also know, Marissa,
well, I would hope the band, not. They have so much material. Like, if you know what I mean?
Well, I guess there's no excuses, for the lovers of heavy metal and hard rock. If you want to be able to hear the song that you want to hear from Metallica, well, I guess you got to go to both nights. Not too many artists like Metallica get the luxury to do what they do.
I think it's great. And I wish I had enough money to go to both nights, let alone one.
That's kind of how I felt when they got the residency at Jimmy Kimmel all this week to be performing live. I thought that was super cool. And also the band debuted a new video this morning called Sleepwalk My Life Away. That is off their brand new album, 72 Seasons. But I want to let you guys know that you're tuning into the Chris College Show Millennial Talk Show. Make sure you like and subscribe so you never miss a live show. And we got a great show for everybody that's tuning in, because our guest joining us for Just Talking is Bonnie Bruderer. She is the director and creator of her film Influencer, which takes a deep dive talking with top techs and media CEOs, including the rising stars in the world that Marissa and I are trying to put her feet inside the door. So I think that is a really, really cool thing. And she's also the CEO and founder of Binge Network, and we will talk about that as well. And also check out my brand new Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast with Amanda Cooksey. She is a Nashville country star. She is such an amazing soul. And I also have an exclusive clip of a new episode that's going to be dropping next week, and that is with indie rock band all the way out in Brooklyn, New York, and they are called Weekly. But guys, stick around right now, because we have more left on the Chris College Show Millennial Talk Show. So let's get it, fam. This one's called Say It.
I'm beyond livid.
That's what's been irking me like crazy.
Psycho X.
We hope that he grows from it.
No, legit, I was trying to figure that out also.
Whatever's on our mind, there's something that's been griping.
So, I get to just say it.
That's my question, Marissa. What's good? This is Say It, because Marissa and I, we're going to be discussing all the news that is circulating across the globe this week. And who would have thought that dating would be the number one thing that is popping up worldwide? There is a brand new breakup tactic that stings more than ghosting, the notorious practice of cutting a partner off cold turkey. Like, that's it. Like, you're gone forever. You might have been talking, the day before, and then you try to reach out to them, either text, video call, anything. They will completely ghost you. But there's a new one that's in the works, and it's called fizzling. And yes, you heard that correctly. It's like, breaking open a can of soda. Instead of breaking up, you become unavailable until that person stops trying to contact you. We had comments online that were called, you call it whatever you want. It's just somebody who likes to play games. I got no time for it. People need to grow up and try new things. It's called honesty. Marissa, do you like honesty?
Yeah, I want honesty, but I'm a fizzler to know tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So you don't like to even just break it off right away. You like to slowly feed it out. Is that because you are kind of debating?
Well, first off, fizzling has been around forever, especially if you're a woman. Okay. Because look, there's a lot of people that come in, want your attention, and you're trying not to, hurt their feelings in some things, right? And just trying to be nice, especially if they're in a position of power. And as a woman, we have sometimes negotiate that, right? So if you're looking at that way, the whole I'm unavailable, sorry, I'm busy is one thing. Now, if you already started dating somebody and you're going forward, right? And they're a nice person, they're good, they're just not for you. And ghosting to me is a bigger dick move than just becoming unavailable. And you just slowly pull yourself back. And eventually you both just go your own merry ways and you're friends and no conversation.
I guess the only confusion with fizzling is it's like, hey, I'm with you. It's like, obviously, if you're in the joke is, you go in a 6-month period. Do you really want to go another 6 months? Because then that's a full year and then that's a full commitment, and you're kind of fizzling out because maybe you're trying to make it work out. Or does fizzling kind of mean you already know it's not going to work out, but I'm going to slowly ride this guy's dinero?
No, that's called playing games. So
isn't that kind of like fizzling though?
No, because fizzling to me is not playing games. It's not pure honesty. Pure honesty is always better. Rip the Band-Aid off, just say you're not interested. But fizzling to me is more of you're slowly I'm really busy. You don't find time. So here's my thing I always tell people. If you truly want to be with somebody, if you truly want something, you will find the time to get it. You will find the time. So if you notice that you yourself are fizzling out of a relationship, that is your cue that this person isn't for you. It really isn't there. And you know what? Pull the Band-Aid, walk away, find a new hot something. Okay. You get moving.
Well, we did have more comments, and one of them was, or the fizzler doesn't want to hurt the other person's feelings by telling them how they feel about things. No one wants to hear about their faults. There is context. So is that what you're suggesting, Marissa? There is context to everything?
I think that's one of them. Yes.
Okay. Well, there was a great advice on Instagram. Oh, sorry. I totally knocked that off. And that's called Get a Frenchie. They will never fizzle. Is that true? I mean, I thought girls were into puns.
Right, Frenchies are totally trending right now. I'm seeing them everywhere. Everyone has a beautiful, cute little Frenchie. I love them. They're like $3,000 a pet. So that's not going to be my pet anytime soon.
So if you can't win the soul over your potential partner, just bring a dog into the mix, and then everything will be okay.
I hope they're talking about the dog and not a Frenchman. Okay.
Yes, Marissa. I think you're on to something. Yes.
Well, all the French, it's very culturally acceptable to have a spouse, a side piece, and a side piece to the side piece. It's very, very common.
And are we just gonna call that the Frenchie moving forward?
We call it the Frenchie.
Okay. Well, you guys heard it here first. This is the new breakup tactic called fizzling. Let us know what you think. Comment in the below in the comments during the live show. But hey, everyone, stick around because we got a great show for you right here on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Hey, what's good, listeners? Ever wonder how a generation of millennials made millions of dollars with an iPhone just following their passion? Well, joining us on Just Talking is the CEO of Binge Network and director of Influencer. Bonnie Bruderer is with us live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. How's it going, fam?
Hi, guys. I'm leaving for France in the morning. Now I'm worried. I'm not.
Okay. Don't become someone's side piece to a side piece.
You don't want to walk away with the Frenchie in your life?
Hey.
What's up?
I said you don't want to walk away with the Frenchie in your life?
I mean, not if they have a side piece and a side piece and a side piece.
I have to say, Bonnie, my favorite fling I've ever had in my life was a Frenchman. When I was in Paris, straight up, it was Paris. He was hot. He was Portuguese who spoke French. Oh my God, it was all that and a bag of chips. So go have fun.
Well, since we are talking about dating right now, is fizzling an old age tactic, Bonnie? Has it been around for centuries?
I mean, I'm definitely guilty of the fizz. That is my strategy. So, but I'm legitimately busy. Yes, but you're right. It's better to be honest. But
it's women empowerment. I think that's really what it is after all. But hey, we're not here to be talking about breakup tactics. No, it's not women
empowerment. It's because guys can't take a damn hint, right? And they keep calling you, they keep texting you, right? And they just can't take a hint and you're trying to be nice. So it's not women empowerment. It's men. Take the cue, dude. Take the cue.
Take the cue. All right. If I'm not going to reach you via text, then don't even try to email me. But hey, we're not here to be talking about breakup tactics. We are here to talk about Bonnie's latest film, which is called Influencer. And we want to let the people know what's good. And we have a teaser trailer right now for Influencer. So, Marissa, let's go ahead and roll the clip.
Advertising is changing, programming's changing, everything is changing. The one thing you need to know, it will change.
Authenticity rules. Advertising is going to be about authenticity.
What we've learned is that sharing is very specific to the vertical.
Digital will become the #1 space when you want to get your message across.
When ads are prompted at the right time with the right content for you is the best thing that you can have.
Influencers are essentially people that are sharing information. They're trusted sources.
Not only is it for brands and businesses, but it's people as the influencer.
I think this year was the first year that digital is now exceeding traditional advertising models.
Advertising is everything. Without advertising, a product can die like that.
Mm-hmm.
And Bonnie, what motivated you to create a film taking an inside look at the digital revolution?
So interestingly, at the time, I had a cable TV show in New York City, and I had about 20, just so happened to be women. We're all for the women's empowerment, girls and younger women that worked for me. And I would watch them prior to the show starting, and they would flip on their Snapchat, their Instagram, and whether it was the makeup artist or one of the producers, and they would have so many followers and so many comments and so many people engaging with them. And here we were on cable television, which was supposed to be all the rage. So I just became uber fascinated about the industry, about the power, about how it all worked, and started doing research, and eventually realized there was, a very strong story that needed to be told of how we came to get to this point where really anybody can become an influencer or become somebody that creates a following.
And what insights or surprises did you gain from interviewing the top tech and media CEOs to rising stars in the scene?
So a couple of things. I mean, from the perspective of social media and what it did in really leveling the playing field, I mean, it all of a sudden introduced this opportunity for really anybody to open the door to celebrity. If you had a strong message, if you could create great content, before you were required to be, cast in a show or be a host of a TV show or on the news. And now it really leveled that playing field so anybody could do it. That was the first thing of really understanding how that happened. And, the decade of companies like Google, like Bing, like the sharing economy, all playing a part in that. The second thing was really the seriousness that the influencers put into their brand and how much work it was, and how it really opened them up to, 24/7 vulnerability. we had, a couple of the influencers that were cast in that show were talking about how, previously if you wore something on an interview or you got to school and somebody didn't like your sweater, you just had to deal with it. Someone probably wouldn't even tell you to your face, but to social media, people will say things that they won't, and they can be anonymous as well. And it can be very harsh and very hurtful.
Doesn't that sound quite familiar to the reports all this week with Ariana Grande having to address her body image? And
oh my God.
she was getting off antidepressants. I mean,
yeah. And I watched her, after speaking with you the other day, I watched her speak about that. And she talked, it's so cute because she's like, I'm not good at this. I don't do this often. Here's this massive Uber celebrity. And this person that then has to, come out there and say, like, that was the worst point in my life. I was on antidepressants. I was drinking on them. I was unhealthy. I wasn't eating well. But yet, anybody and everybody can comment on what they think is healthy or perfect or amazing. And God, I mean, as a human being, do you want people following you around and when you gain 5 pounds telling you?
Well, I mean, I guess that's what comes with being an influencer,
well, and that's
right?
that's one of the problems with it too. We think about when she talked about here she is, her life is out there as a celebrity, but the parts that were the demon side, the bad side, the hurtful, she had to hide. She had to hide it. She had to try to protect herself because the comments were so bad until finally she's like, look, enough is enough. This is hurting. This is damaging. And we see this over and over. Selena Gomez. We see this over and over. The beast of being an influencer, the beast of being social media, right? Is the hurtful comments people think they can just do because I'm never going to see you face to face.
And have you found that, being an influencer or being in advertising is a 24/7 gig? Like there is no days off?
Yeah, I mean, it absolutely is. So there's two sides to it, right? There's the Ariana Grandes. There's the everyday person that makes themselves vulnerable to that public scrutiny because they become an influencer. But then there's the other side. There's the rest of us that are watching that, and I know, like, I'm a mom of small children. We joke about this. It's like you see somebody else is at the park. You're like, should I be at the park right now? Like you're comparing, or someone gets to go to the grocery store alone. You're like, God, why do I have to go?
I really hope that's not the case, because if you're seeing a kid like eating a Tide Pod, I hope that your daughter or your son doesn't follow along, right?
No, but I think what she's saying is also, as a mom, I get it. Like I just renewed the Knott's Berry Farm tickets because all my friends are taking their kids to Knott's, and I was like, oh, I'm depriving my kid. You know what I mean? I want to make sure I also go out there.
And that's just an everyday person example, right? I also work. I also have a life. I have, all of these things that you're constantly comparing yourself to 24/7 is not even an influencer. Like I take social breaks for months at a time. And it's funny, you'll start to get texts, is everything okay? Are you okay? Are the kids okay? And you're like, no, I just need a minute, because there is so much that goes into not only just consuming that media, there's the creation side and what that person is responsible for and what they're dealing with, and then there's just the consumer side. And I don't think that we're, as human beings, I know we're not capable of processing all of that and managing all of that on a daily basis. So.
And Bonnie, you bring that up too in your documentary, the one point in it that I really just honed in on, and it was almost halfway through, and you had the CEO Olivia June on there, and she made this comment: the more you're an influencer, the more you're on social media, the less real life connections you have.
It's so true. I mean, because you have to be so worried about what all of these strangers care about and think about and responding to them in real time. And if you don't, you're going to get criticized more. And that really, you can't simultaneously be having real, deep, connected relationships, in my opinion, and in science's opinion. So I think that that's what a lot of the troubles that we're seeing today in society and a lot of the things that are happening stem from that. We're really feeling that crunch right now. Over the year, after years and years of living this way, it's like, it's just not possible. Yeah. I can't tell you how many people I have spoken to that say they were happiest during lockdown in COVID because there was no comparison. There was nobody doing anything. So there was nothing to feel bad about.
I was pretty happy.
Yeah, I was so happy.
My daughter, I was a little stressed about my bills. Don't get me wrong. But I was like, I took a breath and I was like, oh, you know what? I need to slow down in life.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So yeah, I'm with you on that.
No, I mean, it's definitely a real thing. And I know, Bonnie, the movie poster for your film Influencer showcases a massive hashtag icon that includes, screenshots of people online. And how have brand and influencers leveraged hashtags to build their audience on social media?
Yeah, the poster is actually a mosaic of everybody that appeared in the film. And it's true. It's like you're connecting with these people that you wouldn't normally cross with in any semblance of life. So it just really, again, opens you up to all of these audiences, all of these people, all of these opinions. And I don't know, as a human being, that we're really supposed to be having that much input.
Oh, I like that idea about that, about how much are we supposed to even share or come forward with. What do you feel like? I know that, when you made your documentary, TikTok wasn't something that was necessarily a big thing yet. It was all the YouTube, the Facebook. What do you feel about Congress coming in and trying to step in on TikTok and limiting that platform? Oh, did we lose Bonnie too?
I think we did lose Bonnie. I think there was a weird connection on our end when it comes to Restream. Oh yeah, she's back on.
Yay!
Yeah, we all had a little bit of a internet connection issue when it came to Restream, but we're back. But hey, let me set the tone for everybody, because we were talking about how influencers have been leveraging hashtags to their benefit. But we are talking about the rising stars. But I'm kind of curious on when it comes to the top tech and the media CEOs. When they're evaluating these influencers, do they believe that they have more sway and popularity than traditional celebrities in media and television?
So it's really interesting because all of those interviews were conducted a couple of years ago. And I think that was really the precipice of the turn of that. So I would say back then, and their answers probably no. Whereas today, yes, I think people have really realized that if you have a brand, if you have a concept, a book, anything that you're launching, that you're trying to get out there, that there's a lot of people that can be very impactful for your brand. I mean, we all know like what a bad Google review can do. And on the flip side of that, what a great influencer can do for your company, for your brand, for your following. And it's kind of scary because, you previously you would have a brand and you would have somebody that is a representative of that brand speaking about that. But now it really is the wild, wild west, whereas everybody can have an opinion. Everybody can have, a good experience, a bad experience, like your product, don't like your product. So it really, that part, I guess, it's part of leveling the playing field, but it can be very, very challenging when you're putting something out there because the power shift has happened.
And you address in your documentary, you address about the authenticity of an influencer when they put a product out there, because I'll actually trust an influencer more than I will a celebrity talking about it. Because I already know the celebrity is getting paid a bunch. Like I already know it. Right. And like I have a woman that I follow. She is in the gym. She's all the cutest like clothes and stuff like that. And she's like, check out this one. This is a good brand. It does this. Here it has. And I trust her versus just an ad.
Yeah. And it's finding people that are like you. If I turn on an Instagram and there's a different product every single day, I'm probably not going to listen to that person because it's diluted. Their opinion, their, clout is diluted. Whereas what I found in the movie with the influencers we interviewed, they were very passionate. They had turned down brand deals if they didn't believe in the brand, if they didn't believe, a very obvious was animal testing. If somebody had a product and they didn't believe that the way it was tested or the way it was marketed, they would turn that down. And I think that's really important. To note there's the influencer that's just in it for the money, and there's somebody that is really passionate about it and is creating their brand and doing things that they believe in and getting people to follow them that they feel are aligned with their values.
But Bonnie, how do you see the role of hashtags changing in the future? Do you believe that there will be a new search engine that will, take out hashtags?
It's such a hard question. I like to not have to comment on things about social media because they change literally by the day. So sure, I think that will be possible. I mean, just in the days since this movie was started until it was finished, they've required the hashtag ad. So things are changing and constantly happening literally on a daily basis. I think what's more I guess, scary or like should be in front of everyone's mind is what's happening in general in social media. You know, we're talking about, I just listened to the Senate hearings a couple weeks ago, and it was like a telenovela. Like, it was the most interesting thing I'd ever heard, with the CEO of TikTok being interviewed and talking about banning that. And then, you know, there's all this chaos with Twitter and there's censorship going on. I think that is really scary from a social.
Yeah, and I think that's actually a very great point that you're bringing up, Bonnie. And I actually have a clip of TikTok CEO having a video message to all the users before he addressed the Senate hearing. So I'm going to go ahead and click that right now.
Everyone, it's Show here. I'm the CEO of TikTok. I'm here in Washington, D.C. today, and I have some news and updates to share with everyone here. Today, I'm super excited to announce that more than 150 million Americans are on TikTok. That's almost half of the US coming to TikTok to connect, to create, to share, to learn, or just to have some fun. This includes 5 million businesses that use TikTok to reach their customers, and the majority of these are small and medium businesses. Now, these numbers are amazing, and I'm so thankful to all of you and the 7,000 TikTok employees in the US.
And that's pretty wild, considering how, you know, the Biden administration opposes TikTok. They oppose the company, Chinese, Beijing-based ByteDance, and they would like to see it sell its stake. If not, it's going to risk a potential nationwide ban. Don't you think that there's other ways we can handle this moving forward without the risk associated with a nationwide ban?
I don't know. I mean, I listened pretty deep into those hearings. It's very tricky. The answer is it's very tricky. There's a lot of gray area. There was a lot of untruths, like even in that video that was just put out. I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. So I don't think it's a very quick yes or no answer. I would say it's a very complicated issue as far as data, storage, sharing, all of that. But I also think, moreover, it's just another one of those examples where, you know, TikTok wasn't around just a few years ago. And then people said, oh, check this out. And it shares virally. Let's just say hypothetically, they did want to use it as a spying tool. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. It went like wildfire. And so those are the
they have used it as a spying tool. Like, they have used it. That's why the hearings are there.
Yeah.
My firm thing is, there needs to be blockades in there. We need to make sure it's not a spying tool, but I'm totally against a nationwide ban. I mean, that for me,
But this is such a fascinating conversation both of you guys are bringing up, because with the emergence of like new social media platforms like Truth Social, Rumble, and Mastodon.
I like Be Real. I'm all about the Be Real lifestyle.
Yeah, but Marissa, let me get to my point though, because again, you know, we have 3 social media companies: Truth Social, Rumble, and Mastodon. So like, how do advertisers, you know, prioritize, you know, which social media platform to go to when they want to bring their campaigns?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really about message to market match, right? Whatever they're trying to reach, where is that viewer on social? And it might be a blend of a couple. It might be Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, or it might be Insta, YouTube. I think that's what's so interesting about advertising today and about AI and all of the things that are playing into it. Is it just isn't, you know, you don't just do some data research and then decide we're going to put a billboard on the side of the freeway. It's a very complex matrix of how you use the people, but then moreover, how are you communicating with those people on that platform?
Yeah.
That's what's really important to the end viewer. I don't want to see something that on my Instagram that I know was made for TikTok or was made for YouTube, because it feels like they don't care. It goes back to that authenticity that we talked about in the movie. It's like, that person doesn't know me. They're just putting someone out there to try to reach everybody.
I have to mix that. I can't stand, even as like a personal sharing, if someone shares it on their Instagram. This is back when it was tied to Twitter too. So it was the same post: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. It was like all the same posts. I'm like, well, where are you really on? Why? What audience are you talking to? Right. So I have people on Facebook that I don't have on Instagram. And people on Twitter that I don't have, you know, and so on.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's definitely a real thing. But I mean, everybody's trying to tackle, you know, what media content should be allowed on, you know, the platforms or not. I mean, and also there are concerns about what minors 18 or younger see online. And there's actually a new California bill that will hold social media companies liable for designing platforms that addict young people and expose them to harmful information. So as you see here, child develops an eating disorder. I mean, how do you even prove that in court? I mean, should we start holding social media companies accountable like we do with tobacco companies?
I believe yes. I mean, I do think social media in a way will become the new cigarette of its day at some point. I think we're starting to see that now. We're starting to see cases. We're starting to see, Facebook under fire, this TikTok issue. I think they're really going to realize how damaging this is. I think it will evolve and change. I don't think it will go away. I mean, as a mother, I kind of hope it does, because it's scary to think about what you have to now put boundaries around for your children. But I really think it will it can't continue the way that it is.
That's interesting that you say that, Bonnie, because free speech has been like the central issue in debates over the potential nationwide ban. We also saw last year that Elon Musk reversed the permanent ban of a then sitting president, Donald Trump. Sitting president. So that's pretty wild. I mean, so how do you see this decision impacting the way public figures use social media to communicate with their followers?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen this sadly in the last election and what happened on January 6th and all of the things that were inspired by social media. I don't think we can continue that way. We've seen the demise and we've seen what happens at the end of the day. I think that we're going to start to see a lot more regulations around it. Sadly, it isn't necessarily freedom of speech anymore because, as you just pointed out, I mean, accounts can get turned off, and probably for good reason in some cases, or definitely for good reason in some cases. We just saw the Discord issue. It's happening today. There's the trial.
Yes, very true.
Things like that are happening, and it's just a matter of time before that starts to become commonplace. And so, depending obviously what happens and what the punishment is there, but I think that at some point that freedom of speech is going to lessen just for safety concerns. You can't have this mechanism where, again, all of a sudden, before we used to get our news from the 5 o'clock person telling, Walter Cronkite all day, telling us.
And this is actually a great transition because I wanted to talk about, you being the CEO and founder of Binge Network. And when did you notice the demand for syndication in the smart TV world?
So about 7 years ago, when I was on cable and I literally wasn't getting bombarded, all of my, the makeup artists, the people working on the show, people, I follow you on Insta. No one was coming up to me on the subway saying, watch your cable show. And so we started looking into smart TV and getting distribution elsewhere. And then we had a traditional film agent for actually influencer for a couple of years, and really it did nothing. And so we realized there's a huge opportunity to disrupt the way distribution is done and licensing is done. And, over the past 7 years, we've seen a tremendous switch in the industry where cable's being, kind of cable.
The scapegoat. No, I mean, it's so true. I mean, long are the days of bunny ear antennas on the television. I mean, Binge Network syndicates over 50 plus OTT television networks. I mean, what in the world does OTT mean for the listener who has no idea?
Yeah, it's actually over 300 now. So we're on
very congrats.
platforms.
OTT, I can't even name over 50, let alone 300. So yes, please explain what OTT is.
I could, but we're going to have to extend the show today. So essentially OTT, we're all doing it anyway. It's watching TV through internet versus cable. So if you're watching Netflix, when you're watching Netflix, when you're watching Hulu, when you're watching CNN on your phone or Fox or whatever you watch, that is OTT. It's also called connected device TV, streaming. There's a lot of different terms for it, but essentially it's accessing television through internet. So that's really the world that we play in. And it all sort of started off of the first show. And then once we got into it and started, we manage over 25,000 films and television shows that we distribute on all of those platforms. And we work with all the top distributors like Amazon Prime, Hulu, everything that you've heard of, Pluto, Netflix. And so, I mean, there's a huge, with COVID even, just the viewing behavior went up 10x. And so there's a huge opportunity for content creators to be having their content there versus just social media. we love social, obviously, and we think that it should be done and continued. And also, there's a huge opportunity in the streaming world.
Yeah, because like, what are the advantages of having content creators, distributed on smart TVs to 300 plus OTTs? Because I'm assuming it's not just United States based, streaming companies. It would be abroad, correct?
Yes. Yeah, we're global. So we the benefit really is twofold. Number one, you're diversifying your audience because we have seen things, TikTok's on the fringe, but we have seen creators or influencers that put all their eggs in a basket and then all of a sudden they wake up and Vine is gone or another social platform is gone. And so we really believe in diversifying. And the other thing is really that there's such a large audience when you're going into the echelon of television. For example, we work with Roku. They have about 50 million subscribers. So you're putting your show in a base that already has a tremendous amount in the tens of millions and sometimes hundreds of millions of viewers. So it just really, takes you into a different audience. And then, of course, there's the monetization side. All of those networks are generally an ad-based revenue. There's very few that are subscription. Hulu and Netflix are subscription, but most we work with are what's called AVOD, advertising based. And so you're generating revenue. Every time somebody watches your show, there's a pre, post, and mid-roll ad, and those generate revenue throughout. So,
and very cool, Bonnie. And I just want to ask you really quickly, I mean, is there any kind of a sleeper for streaming companies, unlike, Roku, Amazon Fire TV or Google Play, that's like, wow, content creators should really look for this?
So, I mean, Tubi is the main one, if you're not familiar with, that people should be watching. They made a big splash on the scene during the Super Bowl this year. They had a great ad there.
Yeah, the pause.
That was hysterical.
They're free. They're free.
That was funny.
That was cool for me.
So Tubi is a great one. It has a very diverse catalog, a very large catalog. You can watch it for free. There's films, there's TV shows. We work a lot with Tubi. We have about, I don't even know, thousands of our shows on Tubi. And then there's also a lot of obscure ones that from a content creator's perspective generate a lot of revenue.
Very cool, Bonnie. And I want to thank you again for joining the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. And are there any plans in the coming months?
Plans? Well, tomorrow I'm leaving for France for MIP, which is the big television film industry event. So I'm very excited for that. I haven't been anywhere since COVID because I've had two newborns since COVID started.
Well,
congratulations.
Congrats.
Very cool.
Yes, please. Safe travels.
Yeah,
yes, safe travels, Bonnie. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, no. And then in May, we're doing our first big family vacation in the Dominican Republic.
So, I love the Dominican. I've been on vacation. It is so much fun. You are going to have a blast.
Good. Can't wait.
Yes, and Bonnie, thank you so much again for joining the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show.
Thanks, guys. Everyone have a great day.
Thanks, Bonnie. You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
And for everybody that's tuning on in, stick around because we got more left on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. What's good, listeners? This is Strike a Chord, and I'll be giving you guys a total inside scoop on what's happening around the music world because, there's a whole lot going on. We really are starting to embrace the world of Web3 and NFTs. I really thought that was a fad last year. I mean, you might have remembered us reporting over the summer that Kings of Leon was the very first rock act, matter of fact, very first musical artist to develop NFTs among their LPs. Now it's expanding just massively into something that can be quite a head scratcher, to be quite frankly. And one of my favorite heavy metal acts is called Avenged Sevenfold, and they introduced their own NFT blockchain technology called Ticket Pass. And they're saying, quote, it's blockchain-based verification and reward system for anyone that chooses to participate. So here is the lead vocalist, M Shadow, discussing how it works. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for everybody.
Wait, are you clicking it or am I clicking it?
I haven't even clicked it, so go for it, Marissa.
Are tagging all of our merchandise, all of our vinyl, all of our tapes, all of our CDs with these NFC tags that we'll have here. And what you would do with those is you get your phone, you scan it, an app pops up, download the app, then you'll be able to redeem a token, which will verify that you bought that particular product. Basically, that's how we can see who's participating in the ecosystem and who is buying merch, who's going to shows. We'll also be dropping POAPs, which are proof of attendance. So when you go to a show, we'll be dropping you a token that says you went to a show. We'll also be doing it with Spotify, where we're going to be trying to find our biggest listeners. So a bunch of things that are free that don't have to do with purchasing things are also going to be in the running here for figuring out who these particular fans are.
Yeah, so like this seems kind of like a bit much in my opinion. I mean, I don't see a whole lot of heavy metal fans embracing NFTs. You might as well come back up on screen, Marissa.
I know you're trying to hide me.
No. It's funny. Listen, I think this is just restream. Guys, just bear with us. It's just how the world works. Live is so cool and very real. But like, this is real, Marissa.
Yeah.
You know, Web3, NFTs, you know, we could go on forever showing video content, but you guys can go ahead and indulge on Avenged Sevenfold's YouTube channel. There's more video content that expounds on more about what this is all about. But, you know, they're really trying to break these into like tiers over time. And what they're hoping for, Marissa, is that, you know, fans will participate, you know, by buying merchandise. But there's also ways where you don't have to pay money. Like they're going to be checking out your listening habits, music consumption, you know, live events and all other kind of metrics.
I mean, on you.
Yes, and so, yeah, that's a very real
thing.
It is.
I think about when you enter these type of things, right, where they can track your listening habits, your buying habits, your whatever habit, that's spying on you, right? Yeah, no, you know, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, call it what you want, but right?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I feel like, you know, we're having a hard time even getting millennials to buy physical copies. I understand that we're all want to do our own live shows. We all want to stream video games on Twitch, but are we really going to embrace, you know, going onto a blockchain technology to win over points or tokens to go to a concert?
I mean, if you're already like part of that world, I guess. I mean, I'm not going to.
My first reaction, Marissa, was
like me. I'm not going to. Like usually when I support bands, I buy a T-shirt. I'm really huge about like I see a band, and if I don't really know their music, like I for sure get a T-shirt. I try to download their music.
Think of it like Box Top for education. You did it. You probably participated for a month, and then you stopped. Right? Like it's a fad. Like this is gonna be a fad. I don't really see anybody in the heavy metal world participating in this.
Like, I really don't. You know, we talked about this when NFTs first came off, and so far, Chris, you are on track and correct. You were like, NFTs are gonna fizzle. NFTs, and I was like, no, it's a whole new way, right? And so far, I'm kind of like, well, I think Chris might have been right. They might be fizzling.
It might sprout into something bigger. I don't
know.
So
far, I'm not.
Maybe Avenged might do it.
Seeing it. I feel like they might be clicking away at a dead wall. Like the intention is good, it's all there, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't go anywhere. It's a dead tunnel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and they don't really even have
you might have hit that one on the nose.
Yeah, and they don't really even have a partnership with Ticketmaster yet. I know they said that they can only gather your music listening through Spotify. They don't have a partnership up with Apple Music. So not everybody's embracing this concept. So it's early stages, and M Shadow admits that. But hey, you know, listen, if you want to support the group, you know, do your thing, be a part of Ticket Pass. But I think I'll pass. But I am very excited during this Strike a Chord segment. I just recently had an amazing sit down with indie rock act Wakely. They're right here. Oh, we're not right here. I'm on the West Coast. They're on the East Coast. They're from Brooklyn, New York. I was able to speak with lead vocalist and guitarist Alex Ballmer, discussing all sort of things surrounding their debut LP. It's their self-titled debut LP. It's a very, very bitchin' record. It's actually out today. So if you want to support the boys, go ahead, check them out right after this live show. But I have an exclusive clip because you guys are here live with me right now, and I want to hype it up with you guys because we're going to be releasing this episode next Friday after the Chris Collins show. And this exclusive clip is with frontman Alex talking about, you know, the difficulty writing the music and the lyrical content for their single Tug of War. So let's go ahead and check that out, Marissa. You guys were recording your debut LP. You guys consistently switched instruments? Like you swapped roles? What is this, Freaky Friday?
Yeah, there was definitely, a lot of passing around instruments. None of us got on the drum set other than.
Oh, okay. So the drums is off the limits. What?
Yeah,
you can't keep a beat, can't keep a rhythm. You and Elliot.
Yeah, no, can't keep. We have no sense of rhythm. And he's a lefty drummer, so that like.
Hey, I'm a lefty too. I know how that is. I mean, a lot of my friends when they come over, they're like, "What am I looking at?"
Yeah, what is it? 11% of the world's a lefty, maybe less. 9?
Yeah, probably less.
Something like that. I could have just.
Every time I go to Guitar Center, and I bet your brother feels the same way. He's like, "Dude, I'd love to play on that bitching drum set, but like, this ain't gonna work out, fam."
Yeah, he's got on guitars too. I think he plays a little guitar, so he plays righty guitar. But yeah, we switched instruments. Like, there are some guitar lines that Elliot helped write. There were some guitars that, or Dan wrote a lot of the guitar parts. I think there were some bass parts that I helped write as well. Yeah, we just try to keep it as collaborative as possible. I think like the more skin in the game everybody has, the more enthused they're going to be about the project.
The song that is your music video that you guys dropped, Tug of War. You had a really difficult time trying to come up with the vocal patterns and the lyrics to this track. And am I correct by saying that you guys turned on Shark Tank music and started doing your own pitches with the band?
That's actually no joke. I wish there was good footage of this.
Yes, that would have been so awesome.
We might have a couple videos of it, but like we were so stuck on that song. Like we loved jamming to it. We loved playing it. We had like just a few vocal ideas, but nothing really stuck. And it was like getting time to where we were like really trying to finish the album. And yeah, so we like all got in my room here and we just like put that song, like we started with the verse. We put like literally just one phrase of the verse on loop. And we set a timer for like 20 minutes where we all were just like by ourselves. We're all in this room for 20 minutes. No one said a word. And we were just like each trying to come up with a melody and like some lyrical content around it. And so like we walked in, basically we like would play the Shark Tank music and then like one of us would walk in and like pitch the melody and the lyrics to us. I wish there was footage of that.
Dude,
that was
okay. Well, here, listen. I could do the whole dun 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 dun. So, Alex, like, since we're here, on camera, could you give us kind of an idea of your original pitch when you went to go propose it to the group?
I'm not going to sing a cappella right now. If that's what,
So that was your first step. You started singing right away. You didn't give yourself like, hey, this is going to be the clear message that I want to get across. It was like, nah, man. I've already gone through the whole instrumental on loop. I'm gonna just start singing. That's how you approached it.
Yeah, there was no. I don't know. It was definitely
no PowerPoint.
No PowerPoint. No slides. No laser pointers. Nothing. It was just like straight to the point. Let's hear it.
It was so much fun sitting down with Alex, and they got an incredible debut LP, self-titled LP, and you can check that out wherever you listen to music. And since we did talk about Tug of War during Off the Fret, more music talk, we might as well play the music video, Marissa. So let's go ahead and start getting ready to play Tug of War live on The Chris Collins Show. Yeah, that's what's good. That is Wakely's single Tug of War, and you can find that on their brand new debut LP, out now wherever you listen to music. And since you are here with us live on the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show, you might as well hit the like and subscribe button so you never miss a live show. And we're gonna talk about this real briefly right now. Billy McFarland, you might remember that name. He is the creator of the failed Fry Festival, teased the possibility of a resurgence of the event. So let's go ahead and showcase that tweet, Marissa, if you got it there for us.
I do.
Yeah, so Billy McFarland tweeted with a fire emoji. Oh, not that one, Marissa. You spoiled the punch, Marissa. You spoiled the punch.
You have three.
Oh my gosh, I'll help you. I got you. No, I got you, fam.
You had four. You had four.
Fire emoji, and Billy
in the wrong
McFarland
direction.
said, "No, it's all good. It's all good. Fry Festival 2 is finally happening. Tell me why you should be invited." Well, yes, obviously people participated, and Snooki's Bum Pit, oh, what a hell of a name, said, "Tell me why you shouldn't be in jail. It's in the best interest of those I owe for me to be working. People aren't getting paid back if sit on the couch and watch TV, and because I served my time." You might as well just said because I served my time. We also had one person say, "The greatest comeback since the QR code. I'm here for it. I think if you did a daily, weekly video on finances, it would be killer. Projected costs, ticket sales, logistics, etc. Let people buy into you doing this the right way." The right way? And then LimeWire said, "I know a safer way to enjoy."
When LimeWire disses you,
that was the punch. Very funny. I will not be taking the risk, but I will give Billy McFarland some credit. He is pretty much a marketing genius when it came to the very first failed incident. I mean, that documentary, if you guys haven't seen it on Netflix, is very eye-opening, especially for content creators. You might learn something watching how he manipulated or got tons of eyeballs.
Do it right and be honest. Do it right and be honest.
Yes, well, do it right. But it was also a great social media marketing campaign that obviously ended in disaster. But we want to keep the theme going. I got a new Off the Fret music podcast dropping next week with Wakely. So we're going to go ahead and play their very first music video for their debut LP out today. And this song is called Mood Rings. So I'm going to go ahead and get the party started. Let's get it. Yeah, that's what's good. That is Wakely's music video, Mood Rings, and you can find that on their debut LP out today. And you can also check out my interview with Alex Ballmer, the lead vocalist and guitarist for the group, next week after the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, on my Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast. And for everybody that's on the Chris Collins Show right now, stick around because I got more left here. Let's get it, baby. Hey, what's good? What's good? Oh, hey, now, good. And, the live nature of doing a live show. Gotta love it, fam. But hey, let's go. This is coming from 1,000 miles away. Dad had no idea that his Navy lieutenant's son was standing right behind him in this beautiful reaction video. Let's go ahead and. Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? But it's better than. And then I have a half. Thank you. Good job. Wait a minute. Who's here? Scooter? Scooter? Scooter! Patrick! What are you doing? It's so good to see you. I miss you so much, Patrick. It would 1,000 years when I thought with you. You're so busy, Patrick. It's amazing. So happy to see you.
Yeah, that is such a beautiful moment. I know there was some very awesome and lively comments that were circulating across the globe, and one of them said, "I love how affectionate they are." And yes, that is so true. Another comment said, "The father is so overcome with emotion he can barely speak. I love videos of soldiers surprising family members, and yes, we do too." And also, is anyone questioning why he's eating avocado and raisins? Yes, the very thoughtful comments that come with What's Good videos. Yeah, I agree. That is a little strange. I mean, avocados and raisins. Okay, you got it. But hey, we want to thank our amazing guests for joining us on Just Talking. That is Bonnie Bruderer. She is the CEO and founder of Binge Network. She also has her latest film, Influencer, out on Tubi. So go ahead and check that out. And make sure you like and subscribe, and so you never miss a live show. And also want to let you guys know, I am definitely going to be dropping our Off the Fret, More Music Talk podcast with Wakely next Friday after the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. And for everybody that is joining us every Friday, make sure you go to thechriscollinsshow.com and become a video member today so you never miss a live show. For now, enjoy the weekend, fam, and we will see you next week. Peace.